I've been drinking since I was like, what, 12 too?
You was drinking at 12?
Yeah.
What do you remember drinking at 12?
A beer.
A beer?
Yeah.
Yeah, you might could have did that because I had a stepbrother named Bob. He'd go get him a little wine and I might taste it.
They used to have these parties. They used to have these parties at my house to where they had trash cans full of beer. And we used to sneak and get one. You know what I'm saying?
And you 12.
Yeah. Probably even younger, probably 11.
God, dog, man.
And then
11
my brother,
years old.
you know, my people, they drunk. So I think
They
my brother,
really
I think my
watching
older,
you
I got
like
an
that.
older brother that's 10 years older than me.
Okay.
So he my big brother, it probably wasn't the right thing for him to be doing, but he would let me drink sometimes. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I probably had my first drink like around 9. If I can remember correctly. Like 9 or something.
Damn. Yeah, I mean, it's whatever's up around us at that time, As I said, a lot of times people say, they don't look at product of your environment as real, but it's real.
I mean, the environment you grow up in could take over your natural genetics. You know what I'm saying? You could be a naturally good person, but the environment you grow in could corrupt that. Because you become a product, what they call a product of your environment. You could be one way, but the environment make you another way. You know what I'm saying? If you take a dog and raise it around a bunch of cats, it might start meowing.
Right.
Or vice versa. If you take a cat and raise it with the dogs, it might start barking. So when you in the environment, it's like today's society. You got a lot of these kids that if they just stay on the right path, they could be something in life.
Mm-hmm.
But they out here, they want to listen.
So it's peer pressure is out there.
Yeah, peer pressure has been out there. You know what I'm saying?
Did you have any of that?
Yeah. You want to be cool. You want to, you know what I'm saying? You want to fit in. You know what I'm saying? So peer pressure comes with a lot of different stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if I wanted to fit in or not. I don't really even know.
That's the coldest part about it. You don't even know.
Yeah, but, I mean, all I know is I wanted to play sports.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I was a little bit of product of the environment, because, people out there making some money, you be thinking you could make some too, shooting dice. You shoot dice, what I'm saying? We would shoot dice, I didn't do it after school, but I'd go over to Elliot's house and win all their money and bone out.
Yeah.
I was something else, but it ain't about me. But so when did you start to want to make these changes? You know what I'm saying? So is it still pulling at do the neighborhood still pull at you to want to go back and get involved?
I mean, somewhat, but I'm on my path to change. With God. So.
And ain't nothing wrong with that.
Nah, not at all. I want to be somebody that all of us don't need to be out here falling victim to the plan.
That's right. But I want to let you know, some want you to come on over and be back.
Yeah, misery love company.
So and that's just to say, that's just the way it is. But you got to think for Omar.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If you want anything better for Omar, and Omar is getting older, a lot of times these people got to think they are getting older.
Yeah.
Trust that. Who want to be 50 and they still, you know what I'm saying?
Doing the same thing you was doing, you was 25.
I mean, because the consequences going to get greater.
Yeah.
You go do something wrong at 50, you might not get out till you're 60.
You might not get out at all.
You understand what I'm saying? So now you done enough, you know what I'm saying, to add any more to the record. Because the next time they're going to be saying, Omar, and we done seen you here a few times.
Yeah.
Look at your track record, baby. We don't know if there's any strikes on them or not.
Yeah.
Do they still have strikes?
Yeah, they still got strikes. I got a strike.
See what I'm saying? No. And so, they may not strike them like they used to. They used to strike you for
getting a piece of chicken.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Instead of Snickers bar.
They would just really try to.
Yeah, that's just
they was really trying
to. That was their plan.
Yeah, that's a hell of a plan,
Now they about to bring back the gang injections.
Oh, they are?
Yeah. So
Well,
That's,
you know,
you see what they doing over there in the neighborhoods, in the 60s right now. They got Big U,
yeah,
so the gang injustice is coming. Now you're going to be considered like a terrorist
just
to
for
the neighborhood.
being in the game,
Yes.
hanging on the block.
Yeah.
Just get you on you ain't even got to be doing nothing.
Nah,
just there.
Just there. You're going to be considered like a terrorist.
Yeah, but you got to make changes. And you want a life. You want a life for not only for you, for yourself. So if your life get better, then you can help somebody else.
Yeah.
And I always try to tell people that if you're a good person, then you're going to be good to somebody else. You know what I'm saying? Life don't just be good, and it's just good for me. You know what I'm saying?
How I look at life, what I've learned, you should treat people how you want to be treated.
Mm-hmm.
You should want for yourself what you want for the next person.
Right.
So that's a righteous life. You know what I'm saying? That's what the teachings Elijah Muhammad, John Elijah Muhammad.
Hey, the speaker is kind of messing up, Buddha. Couldn't hear him too good.
You learn.
I got you.
You learn that you want for you what you want for your brother. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's just a natural. That should be the natural way of life. And if we could do that throughout the community, help each other and be there for each other, then the community will build up.
When one person get up, they don't want to help nobody else.
That's the thing we gotta break away from.
Yeah,
that's what we gotta break away from.
As big as all this stuff is, and as many people as it is, they be thinking it's gonna affect you. You know what I'm saying? If I help him, and that's just not how it goes. It's too many people.
Yeah, but I don't know. I'm one to always reach back. The times when
I mean, anytime you can see somebody's life being better, but you gonna always have them ones that got that I'm better than you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then they gotta learn and mature in their own way too. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully, if they had that kind of mentality, it can change.
Yeah.
And be helpful out here to one another. So now. You sober for the last couple of years.
Yeah.
You're trying to see things different. You don't want to go back to the neighborhood.
Nah.
Right? And so now Omar trying to help himself.
Yeah. I mean, I see so many people around. I got a couple homies that have become preachers, and I see them doing good, and it's like they inspire me, to be able to make a change. That is possible. To make a change, and it's all right to make a change. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what life is about. It's about growth and change. You know what I'm saying? Who's gonna be in a one spot for their whole life?
Well, if people can keep you in that spot, some of them will keep you right there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they will.
It's just like if somebody know you trying to be drug free, somebody gonna offer you something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's just the way it is. So. You're going to have to be strong here, you know what I'm saying? And it's going to be a challenge. Life don't stop challenging you. There's going to be some challenges going on.
The more successful you're trying to become, the more challenges going to be.
The more right you try to do.
Yeah.
As the word says, evil is always present, you know what I'm saying? So you just got to keep your head up, keep looking forward, and stay around good people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If you already know that going over here ain't good for you, then you sometimes you just can't go. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because that energy that's already over there is gonna start getting back in you. It don't take long either. It don't take long. So keep doing what you're doing, being able to help out. And what you're doing now, you know what I'm saying? And become valuable, be somebody that somebody need, you know what I'm saying?
Become an asset, not a liability.
Yeah, and just gotta change your life, because prison is already, they got enough of us.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? So, we want to be free. We want to be able to be better. You know what I'm saying? So, what do you think you're going to do now, Omar, to be better?
I'm going to just stay humble. Stay humble.
That's a good one right there.
Stay humble. Stay stay in my lane. You know, don't
yeah.
try to rub off into nobody else's lane. Stay in my lane, and just continue to work and try to make a better life for myself. You know what I'm saying? One day at a time, and just whatever comes on the path, if it's positive or negative, know how to take it on.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like you say that drug use could come back. Somebody can come around with that. Or a better job opportunity might come.
Well,
but you got to be able to do you got to be able to.
Well, one thing you got to realize is making a change is sometimes, you got to, it don't mean like I got to move totally out my environment, but making a change mean I can't go back to what I used to do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And if I see people, you still know them, and it's just got to be short sometimes. Man, what's happening? Whoop, everything, man, I've been trying to work and get my life together, you know what I'm saying? And you got to know how to silently move on, you know what I'm saying? Instead of, I got to kick it.
Yeah.
You got to know how to just eventually move on.
I think I've kind of, I ain't going to say mastered that, but I kind of exercised that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
And people can tell when you are trying to make that change, you know what I'm saying? And they should want to help you make it too, you know what I'm saying? It's almost like in that movie Boys in the Hood. I think that was when that boy Trey was rolling with him, and they looking for the guy that the trouble had happened.
Yeah.
And he said, man, pull over, let me out. You know what I'm saying?
Sometimes they ain't going to let you out.
Sometimes they ain't going to let you out. But what I'm trying to say is they should want to let you out because they know, hey, he got a chance.
But this is the plan that been put on us to put each other down. You know what I'm saying? Through the movies, through the music. You want to see another brother perish instead of seeing him rise up.
Wow.
It's just been the plan that the man put on us. You know what I'm saying? This is total destruction. A whirlwind down, into hell. That's what it is. Instead of, let that nigga go on and do what he doing. He ain't bothering us. You want to destroy him for trying to change or trying to make a better life for himself and his family.
Right.
That's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Instead of trying to egg that on, that positivity, let him do what he doing. You want to pull it. You don't want to let him out the car. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
This brother may be the brother to stop the car and get everybody out the car. Because it's foolishness. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? How long is the foolishness going to continue? How long we going to, pick out an open wound? You know what I'm saying? We ain't hurting nobody but ourselves.
Right.
We ain't tearing apart nobody community but our community.
That's it.
We ain't tearing apart nobody families but our families.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? We ain't cutting down nobody trees but our trees.
Right.
You feel me? It's like a saying that I say is like, if you plant an apple tree, right? And it start to grow, are you going to cut that tree down before it bear fruit?
No.
So that's what we doing in our community. We planting seeds and we cutting them down before they even get to bear the fruit. So we need to start.
These young people coming up.
We need to start.
They ain't even
let
them
live. They ain't living. You know what I'm saying? We need to start letting these plenty seeds we plant bear the fruit that they're supposed to bear. And
letting these young men get a chance to make their own.
Make it,
their own decision. Getting old enough, because when you're young, you know, they should tell them, man, no, they don't even think about it right now. Go on and keep going to school. You know, don't try to pick this life here right now. You know what I'm saying?
But then you shunned upon if you as they say hop off the porch late. Then you frowned upon. Oh, well, we
is that right?
Yeah, they don't want, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, oh, he hopped off the porch late or this or that. You feel me? So,
is that right?
Yeah, they want you out there. It's a cycle that they didn't put into the people's head, bro. Wow. It's a cycle they want you to continue on. If we ain't out here selling drugs, shooting at each other, they prisons ain't going to fill up. They county jail ain't going to fill up.
Wow.
They money ain't going to keep flowing. Right. If we all out here helping each other and being here for each other as a community and building each other up, sending these brothers to school, sending these sisters to school, sending them to college. Right. That's instead of sending them to the trap.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want to see that. They want to see a perpetuating window of destruction. And that's just what it is. And I don't know when it's going to end or if it ever will end, but my plan in the future, like you asked what's my plan in the future, is to try to become one of the voices to implement this change in the community because we need change.
Right.
We can't. It can't be a perpetuating door. It's got to be something's gonna have to give along the way before we destroy everybody.
Yeah, sometimes if people could just see it in you, people see change. You know what I'm saying? So, and once you're able to make that change, then people gonna believe when you talk about it. You know what I'm saying? So, man, just keep making that change. And,
Yes,
you know,
sir.
you got a good head on your shoulders. You know what I'm saying? And don't let it go to waste.
Nah.
You know what I'm saying? You know. And that's what happened. Man, you just don't know how many very intelligent, smart men done let it go to waste, you know, from drugs or even...
Or the people that wasted it for them.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because if you look at the community, sometimes you would think we never had people like Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, even Tupac. You would think that we never had these people to try to teach us nothing or to try to steer us along a better path.
Mm-hmm.
Because the plan that been implemented on our people is a far bigger plan than you
Oh,
can
yeah,
ever
it's
fathom.
a big plan. It's a big plan.
You know, it's all about is who gonna listen. You know,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
who can you reach?
And that's a big thing too that I like to push. You know, we gotta listen. You know, listening is a very important way. You know, tool. You know, you got to listen. How you gonna learn something if you don't listen?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, that's why you got 2 ears and 1 mouth because you're supposed to listen twice as much as you talk.
Yeah, yeah. Man, I'm glad that you made time to come on this Brown's Neighborhood podcast, man. Because somebody going to hear somebody need to know. A lot of even parents, you know, they got children going through some of these challenges. You know what I'm saying? Same thing as when you were saying they using, you know, crystal not to glorify like a real drug. They using it to stay up and do music and all these other things, you know, not knowing that it could turn into something else.
Turn into a dark, dark room.
Man, you know. And so you just hearing the tip of the iceberg from Omar. Some people would hit real different, you know what I'm saying? And once it starts spiraling out of control, some people can't stop it.
I almost was there.
Is that right?
I was almost there, yeah.
Wow.
I used to tell myself, man, when I get back out here, I'm getting high again. I'm finna get higher than I ever been.
You used to say that?
Yeah. Yeah.
But why would you want to get high? I mean, and you was when you get back out, but you sober now. You in jail, your mind is sober.
Yeah.
Why would you want to tell it, man, I'm finna get high as I can get?
Because you think it's cool. You think that lifestyle is where it's at. I don't care. I'm just gonna live this life. You feel me? Instead of you just want to give up on you just want to give up.
But
on
if you're getting high and you're doing all that, you can't do nothing else. I mean, once you getting high like that, eventually it's gonna take a downward effect. You know, you getting high and it seemed cool for a minute, but now you ain't gonna dress right. You ain't gonna be taking care of yourself.
I had reached that point to where I'm gonna tell you, if I could just cut to this story real quick. I walked from Dockweiler to Santa Monica in one night. And I wanted to just disappear. I didn't have nothing on me. I didn't have no ID on me or nothing. And I was telling myself, I'm just gonna disappear, be a panhandler. Nobody would never know what happened to me. I just disappear. I was at that point. So when you get to that point, it's like almost giving up on yourself. It's like I could just go back to that. It's so easy. But I got out, I went to rehab.
You didn't want nobody to see you, know where you at, nothing.
Just disappear. You feel me? But then going to rehab, thinking about my children, it made me realize I can't do that. That's the sucker way out. So I realized, you can't do that. You got to get back out here. Got to get your mind back right. Because it'll make you lose your mind. It lingers. So getting your mind back right, exercising your mind, reading books, listening to
So if I can ask this question, which of all those drugs is the worst one?
Crystal meth is the worst drug in the community in the world right now. And fentanyl. I never done no fentanyl.
Right.
But crystal meth is tearing the community apart.
Fast.
It's tearing people down because it don't do nothing but I witnessed it. It tore me down. It don't do nothing but tear you down. Wow. So that's the worst drug to me that's pumping through the community right. It's like the new age crack. How you seen crack back in the 80s tearing
Right.
people right down, stood in that grandmama VCR, stood in doing the things they did. Crystal meth is by far. Just take a look on the streets. Crystal meth is and fentanyl is tearing the community apart.
Almost like, you know, when crack got really bad, kids, everybody wanted to sell it. You know, they didn't want to go to school. Everybody started using it. It's almost like tore down some generations. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
So,
For sure.
you know, and I guess that's how they doing with that crystal, that about time the people wake up and realize it, you know, a generation or two done been destroyed. You know what I'm saying? And now the steps that we made going forward, we done got kicked back again. You know what I'm saying? So, and then they gonna come out with another one, you know, so.
That's that fentanyl. That fentanyl is something crazy too. Fentanyl killing people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just, that's why we need places like Brown's neighborhood.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah.
So there could be places where people could come and get help.
Yeah.
And they could see their way through the struggle.
Yeah, man.
You know what I'm
really.
They could come get some love. They could come get some help. You feel me?
And we need it. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we think we don't, because a lot of people, they don't have nowhere really to go, you know, and hear anything positive or try to get around positive people, or even, you know, once they done got themselves together, somebody can help them. You know, like I said, if I didn't sit down with you today, I have to look at you different now, because I'm, you know, you learned something you didn't know.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So the biggest thing is, man, that you're changing your life, and then with that, the world, you know, can give you an opportunity.
Yeah.
People like me can give you an opportunity to see somebody else, because now they know that, hey, this man is trying to make a change in his life. You know what I'm saying? Just like Buddha. Buddha trying to make changes.
Yeah.
Boy, that boy was stuck like a truck.
Yeah.
You know, wasn't on no dope, you know, like heavy dope. Might be on that weed real bad.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But I don't even smoke no weed.
Man,
no
don't
more.
you do nothing.
I don't do nothing.
You know, some people
I
don't.
may have a drink with a lady or something, but I don't.
Yeah,
I don't do no.
Make sure she don't lead you the wrong way.
Yeah, oh no, we can't let that happen.
No, you know? I'm just telling you, men have led women the wrong way, and women have led men the wrong way. Yeah. See, we don't be thinking they lead us the wrong way. Yeah, they do. They'll mess our mind up too.
Yeah, but you gotta. It's me right now. I got I'm focused.
No, stay focused, man.
You feel me? I got an ultimate focus, and I know where I've been, I can't go again.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So,
well, God gonna do some blessing, man.
Ain't nothing deter that. Ain't enough fun in the world. I'm disciplined. You know what I'm saying? I'm being disciplined in my life.
Well, when
right
you
now.
make one step, God will make two. You just want to make sure you trying to make some changes, you know?
Yeah.
See, a lot of times people want God to change everything. It don't happen always like that.
God, you got to find a God in you.
Yeah, yeah.
And move forward with that.
And you got to show some action, and then God will come and help with that. You know what I'm saying? So, man, we want, thank you for coming on the Brown Neighborhood Show, and man, thank you for sharing, your testimony of life.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? Because everybody's life is different. Everybody going to explain their life differently, but we want to be able to get the good out of it, and we want to see a positive change for each and every person here, and hopefully something could always be said on the Browns Neighborhood Podcast that can change somebody's life, because Jesus is always in front. Jesus is always the one, and we ain't trying to look back. We ain't trying to look back. We trying to look forward and keep Jesus out front of us.
Yes, sir.
He's the man. He's the main source to all of this. And that's just the way it goes. That's the main thing for me. So I just want to say thank you, Jesus, for the podcast. This is something that just put in my head, and I'm, Lord, I'm going to just try to do the best I can with this Browns Neighborhood Podcast. So I want to say thank God for that. Until the next time, we will be back.